Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Saturday night. We did this last week. Got my boy Justin with me, but I got another guest with me. I got Michael with me tonight. What's up, Michael?
What's going on, Ryan?
How we doing, man? And Justin, how we doing, bro?
We're good. We're
So
feeling good after a nose win, and yeah, let's
I
keep
was
up the
gonna
good
say we're
vibes.
recording we're recording this around 10 o'clock Saturday night. We're gonna do this every week. Go through the games. If you listened to us last week, it's gonna be about the same thing. Just gonna go through the games. Like, I don't know what you guys think. You don't know what I think. Michael's with us. I guess I'll brag for him because he'll probably brag for himself if I don't. So we'll get this out of the way. First place from last week. What was your record last week?
12-4 ATS, 12-2 on Sunday, lost both prime time, uh, Thursday, Monday.
And Justin, what did you do last week?
Book record was 13-6, so whatever. I think it was 12-4 also.
I'll say I can't keep
So,
track of that. I
Yeah,
know
I was
I
gonna
went
say the best. I hit three best bets, which are double weighted. I guess that was
right.
the difference maker for me.
right. So the way we do it, I literally went 500. So I forget how many points I have. But the way we do it, for those of you that didn't listen last week, is it 19 of us in the book, Mike?
Eight, yeah, 18.
18. So there's 18 of us. We pick every game against the spread. You get 3 games as your best bets. Been doing this since middle school. Michael actually runs it.
Literally.
Justin won last year, hitting 58%, which is funny because you hear guys saying they go. I was telling Michael, because he doesn't know too much about this industry except that he just never has participated. But I was like, people talk about winning 70, 75% and they sell their picks. And Justin went 58% last year, and we all thought that was, it's amazing it's amazing what people will say they can do. You hit 52, 53%. You can basically, what I say before we're going to pick the games, if you just don't lose money during football season, it's a winning football season. It's impossible to be
Amen.
successful year in and year out, but we're going to do it. Everybody's here. So let's go game by game. I'm going to start with just the order that we have. It happens to be the Ravens game first. I'm not going to talk much because I'm negative on the Ravens this year. I want to be proven wrong, but had the Texans last week. I will root for the Ravens, but I just, yeah, I'm down on the Ravens. Justin, I know Justin likes the Ravens. Michael, give me your take. What do we like this week?
Yeah, so I gotta at least just get this out there that we're obviously all Raven fans here. So we have purple lenses that we're looking through. But I will say I understand the Cincinnati side. They played about as poorly as you could last week. Cleveland has kind of had their number over the years, if you kind of just look at their matchups. And Cincinnati's kind of beaten Baltimore more or less. But I will lean into a little bit of the division dog kind of going in there. I'll lean more into the Ravens kind of starting the season off fast. Harbaugh kind of, you know, putting some emphasis into the preseason, having a quick start in Cincinnati. Burrow didn't practice all preseason. He obviously had a slow start. Last year, I think they started 2-3 to start the year. So I'm again a little bit of a Raven bias. I'm not betting it, not making a big play, but I'll take the Ravens plus 3.5.
Justin, you feel the same way?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I think the 3.5. It's big on paper, but I saw like it's down to 3 the spread, which kind of is if you look into it a little bit, it's kind of weird. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are taking Cincy, so I would have figured the spread would have stayed at 3.5 or higher, but maybe there's some sharper plays on the Ravens side. But either way, I thought I would be taking Cincinnati, but I think I'm back to leaning Ravens just because a lot of things Michael said. Division dog. I don't know if Burrow's right. It feels like it'll be a kind of a tight, lower-ish scoring game, and both D lines kind of dominating. So I'll take the points.
So when I was doing the daily podcast, I had to avoid making an Orioles podcast. I feel like it'd be the same thing with the Ravens. So perfect. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Buccaneers Bears, probably the game that I felt great about last week. I think we both were on the Bucks, Justin.
we both love the Bucks. Yep.
Mike, did you have the Bucks last week?
Oh yeah, great
You,
spot, good pick, guys. Yeah, for
I,
sure.
I like the Bucks again. Do you got anybody disagree here? I feel like the Bears is. I don't know how you bet the Bears this week.
I'm actually going back against Tampa. I don't love either side. I just think Chicago played really poorly Tampa in a competitive game against Minnesota. They don't have much of a home field advantage. Don't love either side, but I'm actually taking Chicago.
Really?
Yeah,
Mike?
yeah, I actually agree with Justin here because if you look at the look ahead line, or imagine this was week one, Chicago had all this hype. This is more of a pick 'em game. I think you're getting a couple free points here just because Tampa pulled an upset over Mini and Chicago looked pretty much as bad as you could. So I actually really like the Bears plus 2.5. I think it's a great money line
Did you
pick.
like the Bears before the season to make the playoffs?
I hate the Bears coming in. I Justin will tell you, I was huge on the Packers at Best Bet Green Bay last week. I have Green Bay
Really?
futures for division, conference, the whole nine. I thought Chicago was completely overrated. But having said that, I think it's gone too far in the other direction. I think Tampa kind of got lucky against Minnesota. I think they had some turnover luck, some red zone efficiency, whatever. So I think there's value on the Bears, especially on the money line.
Cool. So I'm on the record disagreeing with that. The only pushback I have, because I think you make some good points, is I like Tampa before the season. So I don't necessarily disagree with what you guys are saying. I like Tampa. I think it's a hard game to bet. I'd like to see them win another game before I would fully believe in it from a gambling standpoint. But I got plus 660 before the season for the division. So
It's a great one. Nice
Oh,
ticket.
and what do you think? So let's go. You said you like the Packers before the season. Does that mean you like the Packers this week? It's what? I think we got plus 1.5 in ours. So Packers plus 1.5. Mike, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, ironically enough, I took a couple shots in the NFC. I took two long shots, and these are the two teams. I took Atlanta and Green Bay to win their division, take the conference around 25-1, whatever their division odds were, win
Right.
season total overs. I just thought their divisions were kind of a little bit open. So all I'm rooting for in this game is not a tie. Just give me one team 2-0, and I'm kind of happy. The handicap for the game, it's going to be a slow kind of just slugfest. I think Arthur Smith is just an underrated coach. He doesn't care about your fantasy team, but he can manufacture some offense. So gun to the head, I really don't know. Just give me. I would tease if you can get either team over 7, tease it up, and that's the play in this game.
Justin, how you feel?
I agree. I'm a kind of a tease slut, and I would be teasing Green Bay, but I'll also be taking Green Bay in the book plus the 1.5. I like them going into the year too, and Michael told me he loved Jordan Love like a while ago, and I was like, you know what, let me look into this, and I kind of agree. I think might have said it last week. I think Green Bay is better off without Rodgers. I think they have a good coach. They still have good players. I'm going with them this week, and I like them this year too.
A lot of these games, I mean, like your opinion going into the game into the season can really dictate. It's nice to hear your guys' takes to be able to be non-emotional because as soon as I have a future bet and like you guys, I had the Packers, so therefore I like love the Packers this week. That's what happens to me. Pretty much feel the same way though. Next game, I'm really curious what you guys think. I don't feel like I could bet this game no matter what. Colts, Texans. Really don't have a strong opinion on it. I guess I'm going to go Texans because they're home, which feels like I don't know. Justin, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm leaning Houston. I think probably a little biased just because I thought Stroud made some progress seeing him at the game last week. In the second half, I thought he looked okay, and I like
Right,
that.
he was getting rushed not to cut you off, but he's getting rushed the entire time. Which
Yeah,
side note, our front four, we can pressure like that tomorrow.
it's
Then
exactly what I'm
I'll change
saying
my
about
whole
the D lines dominating the Ravens game tomorrow. But
right, I'll change my whole opinion on the Ravens season to get pressure like that. So you think Stroud? You like the Texans
I just
tomorrow?
like them that they're home. I don't love either side, but kind of what like Michael said about a tease. I got them earlier in the week with the Packers at both getting over 7, so I like that angle. Straight up game. I don't love either side, but I'm taking Houston.
Mike, what's first? Let me get your take before the season. Were you high on either team, and then what did you what do you like this week?
Yeah, so I think both teams, um, their win totals were around 6.5 each. I think they're going to be a little bit better. I think they've bottomed out the last couple of years. I don't think they're going to be bottom feeders, kind of like Arizona or whoever else is at the bottom. I think Houston has a solid defense. Ryan's, they have some players there that they flashed a little bit. And Indy actually liked what their new coach did. Obviously, Richardson has crazy upside. They run a quick tempo. I'm actually leaning Indy. It's a dumb game. I'm not spending real dollars on it, but we have to pick them all. So I'm going to take the creative coach and the, I guess, more upside of a quarterback right now in week 2.
So I can't quite figure out why this game's not 4 o'clock. I guess I don't know. That's how the schedule works. But the Chiefs Jaguars game, clearly the best game. I don't know, Jacksonville market, whatever, who knows? But Chiefs at Jacksonville, obviously Chiefs get back. Kelsey and Jones. I feel like I don't have a strong opinion on this game either. So you guys go. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I was telling Justin actually, part of my process every week I like to like guess the spreads before I look at them.
Mhm.
And I actually had this line closer to a pick 'em. Now maybe it was an overreaction to week 1. I know Kansas City didn't have Kelsey, but Jacksonville was supposed to be kind of your, next up and coming, maybe compete for the 1 seed. I know it's a little out there, but I was surprised that it got to 3, even 3.5. So I really do think it's a 50-50 game. I think Jacksonville can go score for score. They played them twice, pretty tough last year. I think they've kind of had this game circled kind of for a while.
Were both games were defensive last year, right?
It was lower scoring for sure. I know the playoff game was. Was that even with Henny? Was Mahomes hurt? I don't even remember.
right.
I just
Yeah, Mahomes
remember.
got hurt in that playoff game for like the
So
second half.
So you got
Yeah,
Jacksonville. You think it's a whatever public move. A lot of people that's the reason why the line is the way it is, at least.
well, I won't say that. I think it's just a little high for me. I understand the move. Kelsey is really good. It's a little too much for me. So not a strong opinion, but I'll take Jacks.
Justin, what do you think?
I also am taking Jacksonville. Kind of pretty much just because of the spread, but I think Kansas City's a little rusty coming in, and Jacksonville, I like their offense, I like their new coach that they got last year. Yeah, I think they're a real solid team, and getting 3 at home, I'm gonna take that pretty much most of the time.
Right,
So
it
I'm
feels
taking
like
Jacksonville.
I could see the sharp move tomorrow or Monday morning being AFC Chiefs to win the AFC as they're 0-2,
Yeah.
getting the plus
Buy low.
1,300, 1,400, right? Huh?
Yeah.
I just that game could go either way. I probably would take Jacksonville because of the points too. I just don't like betting against Mahomes. I feel like I have such boring my takes on the games this week felt stronger on week 1. I feel like I can get emotional for week 2. Got one game that we're going to get to in a second that I really like. This game, hate using the word trap game because I don't even know what that means sometimes. But from a coaching standpoint, not a gambling standpoint, but maybe just from a coaching or players mindset, Chargers going all the way to Tennessee. Tennessee gets their home opener. Nobody wants to take the Titans in this game. I know Eckler's probably not going to play. Chargers minus what's it, 2? Or no, I think we have it at 3. Right now
It came down 2.5.
What do you
Came
guys?
off.
I'm going to take the Chargers because I watched Tannehill. I didn't go to the Ravens game because I'm down here in Georgia, so I got the pleasure of seeing a lot of Ryan Tannehill. So therefore, I will not be betting him whatsoever. But I could see the Chargers. I don't know. What do you guys think, Mike? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting game. Sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, it did come off the key number of 3 down to 2.5. It's a little telling. I'll say X's and O's wise, it seems like Tennessee has a clear funnel to their pass defense is very, very poor. They have a great front line, kind of hard to run on, but I do think the Chargers, I think last week they matched up to Miami and said, hey, we can run the ball. I think they're going to find the matchup here to say, hey, we can throw all over them. Conversely, Tennessee should be able to run the ball all over them. Look, I mean, Henry and whatever. So I will say lean towards, it's tough. Lean towards the over. I think there's gonna be a lot of points in the game.
Right.
I understand Tennessee has the contrarian side. I have the Chargers for now. I hate the game. If I had to pick Chargers, but if I had to pass of any game, this is my least confident one.
Justin, what do you think?
I am a big fan of Herbert, and like you said about Tannehill, I think he's kind of hitting his wall at this point. So pretty much just off of that, I'm taking the Chargers. They always seem to like screw up a lot of games though, and whether it's coaching or just the Chargers have like some bad juju
You
on their
can't bet.
side
You can't
sometimes.
bet real. I'm sorry, but you cannot bet real money on the Chargers and watch.
Yeah,
if you want to bet it and then like close your eyes or something, but if they lose, it'll break your heart every
Right.
time.
I trust Herbert though. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I was down on Tennessee going into the year, so I'm taking the Chargers.
All right, I think we might have our first hot debate, because I will really argue this point because I'm considering a money line play. I feel like everybody just wants to take the Bills because it's like I don't know exactly why. I'll let somebody, if you guys like the Bills, you can argue it. But I love the Raiders. I love the Raiders last week. I love the Raiders this week. I actually think they'll be able to run the football. I can believe the line is the way it is because maybe it takes time for people to finally say I'm over a team. But they seem finished to me. I don't feel like that's like the game you bounce back from. Maybe they win 8 or 9 games this year. I just feel like that team's finished.
Buffalo, right?
Overreacting, go for it. But I love the Raiders. So disagree?
I'm with you, and we talked about last week, liking the Raiders against Denver. They were only getting like 3 or 3.5.
Right, love them.
I think they're a decent team, and yeah, but on the other side, this is more of a play against Buffalo. I think I said it on here last week. I'm down on Buffalo this year. I think this might be the year that they fall off their kind of hilltop and getting 8 points. And the Raiders are solid. I'm best betting the Raiders. So I'm totally with you.
No argument from you, Mike. You got to argue with me or argue with us, I guess.
No, I'm
Really?
with you guys. I like the Raiders. I'm not nearly, I don't have nearly the same conviction that you guys have. I do think Buffalo did run into a very, very good Jet defense that's kind of had their number over the, last 3 matchups. Buffalo, I think, is a team that, to your guys' point, is not maybe one of your top couple Super Bowl contenders, but they kind of in the regular season can run kind of the score up over these mediocre teams. I think Vegas does not present any type of their defense. I don't think they're just going to have any type of threat to slow the Bills down. I think they're going to get whatever they want. To your guys' point, I think Buffalo's run defense is a lot. They give up a lot. I think Jacobs should have a solid day. I'll take the Raiders, but not as confident as you guys. I could see Buffalo putting 40 up and just doing what they do, and then just again falling in the playoffs.
Yeah, I wish Myers was playing for the Raiders. That's a weapon, but I expect them to control the ball so it doesn't happen. But we'll see. So I love the Raiders. Justin likes the Raiders.
I bet on the Bills to miss the playoffs going into the year, so I'm kind of gonna be down on them most of the time.
I was gonna say you and I we're traveling in a different circle then because everybody else has talked to in my life loves the Bills. What do you guys think of this game? I can't give points yet with Dan Campbell. I still thought he did a bad job last week or however long ago it was. Feels like that game was 6 months ago against the Chiefs. So yeah. I'm going to take the Seahawks, but I also think I might be a little biased because I had the Seahawks before. I don't know if I'm wrong on them or not, but I had the Seahawks to win the NFC. I guess like a flyer bet, like you said, Mike, you had the Falcons and the Packers. I had the Packers and the Seahawks. Mike, what's your take on this game? I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Don't feel great about it, except I don't like Campbell giving that many points.
Yeah, man, I'm in complete agreement here. I think you got to take Seattle. It's a buy low on Seattle. It's a sell high on Detroit. And again, to your point, Detroit kind of without that pick 6 that hit Tony right in the hands. It's a different ball game. If Kansas City goes for one of those 4th downs in the red zone instead of settling for a field goal or whatever, they could win the game. It could be a different outcome. But I will say Seattle does have significant concerns on the O-line, a lot of injuries. But I'll always do, like I said, the buy low, sell high. It's a good one here. So give me Seattle.
What do you think, Justin?
Yep. I mean, it's kind of getting boring, but we are in agreement on those games, and I'm taking Seattle.
All right, then let me ask you too. So then let me ask you a specific.
Well, we did well we did well the first week, so sorry to cut you off, but
so why did Seattle then? If we all like Seattle, why did Seattle lose to Los Angeles?
Give me that one. The Rams were one of my top bets last week. I had them on the money line. I love them. Stafford took every preseason snap, every snap throughout the entire summer. He was healthy. He was ready to go. And it just was not baked into the line. Additionally, week 18 is just that matchup. The Rams played them. Seattle had to win it to make the playoffs, and they were struggling late in the 4th quarter in that game. So you combine all that together, it was an easy pick for me.
Justin, did you watch the Seahawks Rams game at all?
Not really. But I actually had Seattle, and I was just wrong about that. But back to like this game here, I take Detroit pretty much every time they're a dog, and I don't love them when they're a favorite. So we're kind of in the same ballpark there.
So, Mike, you like the Ram? Let me serve you up this one then, too. I love the 49ers last week. I think, Justin, we were on the 49ers.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
don't, I can't say I watched much of the Seahawks Rams game. I just know it was 13-7 and then it was 30-13. So I guess I'm going to give the points here with the 49ers, but we just said about Stafford. That makes sense. I don't know if that applies to week 2 now that we're all playing, but what do you guys think? I'm going to give the points with the 49ers. Don't feel great about it. Justin, why don't you go first on this one?
I'm with you. I didn't like the Rams going into the year actually. So kind of different opinion from Michael there. I bet they're under win total. So I'm kind of hoping they don't start 2-0. But yeah, I think San Fran matches up well with the Rams. I think at least regular season wise, they've kind of owned the Rams, and like I think I said last week, LA's not really a good home field advantage. 49ers probably have at least 50% of the fans. I
Right,
think
not a home game. So
yeah, I think the Niners can control the line of scrimmage and kind of run the ball down their throats, and they got one of the best defenses in the league. So without Cup, I think the Rams might struggle to score. So I'm going to take the Niners.
Mike.
Yeah, so we're just referring back again to last week. It was a little bit of a, I wasn't that big on Seattle coming into the year, so it kind of just aligned for me. But this week, the Rams, with Seattle has a cupcake defense. San Fran, to your guys' point, is just a completely different animal. The D line is going to be after you. Their linebackers are just crazy fast, and it's just very difficult to move the ball. It's hard. I don't love the game. I have San Fran. Don't. I think the Rams could maybe keep pace and maybe get a backdoor cover, but I wouldn't take that against the San Fran defense. So light pick to San Fran.
Cool. Well, we got 3 more. Jets, Cowboys. I love the Jets this week, but I also had the Cowboys not to make the playoffs. I just feel like that was an overreaction to the Cowboys Giants game. Giants can't play from behind. So one of my strongest plays is the Jets, and I don't even like the Jets. I just don't like the Cowboys. That too many points. Feel free to disagree with me one way or the other, but I don't like the Cowboys, and I didn't like the Cowboys for the season, and I don't like them in this spot. Just feels like one of those games that I don't know, 17-13, 16-14, close game all the way to the end. Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm think I'm taking the points. I don't love either side. I actually do like Dallas this year, and I didn't like the Jets, but for some reason I'm taking the points. I'm just a sucker for points sometimes. So it's like 8.5, I think. Jets have a good defense. I'm gonna take it, take the Jets. Like I said, I don't love either side, so I kind of could see either way.
Where are you at with the Cowboys, Mike?
So yeah, I'm with Justin. I'm actually big disagreement with you, Ryan. I don't have any futures on them because I think their price was a little too short. But I think Dallas is one of. I said Buffalo is not one of those short list teams. I really do think Dallas is one of those short list teams with that defense, with their skill position, with just kind of and not. The NFC is pretty open. I think Philly is going to take a step back with losing their coordinators. You're kind of seeing them not even being as dominant already this year. Having said all of that, again, this is boring. We're in agreement. Jets plus the points. That defense is too good. It's going to be a 2016 boring snooze fest. That's all I got.
No, it's cool because you know what? At the end of the day, the thing about this, and I'm glad, and we'll think about it. I'll get through the next 2 games, but yeah, I'll think about the different formats and how we can do it. But for people listening, we didn't decide what we're going to talk about. And when people have fake debates or just yell or pretend like they know who's going to win the game, if we knew who's going to win the game, each of us wouldn't have a full-time job doing something. You know what I mean? Like it's just so if people don't have conviction, that's what happens when you're just fucking being honest about how hard it is to predict these games. And when you really don't know, there's so much you don't know, right? So, all right, a couple more. This one, couldn't pay me probably to watch this game unless I was going to bet on it. This Commanders Broncos game, I feel like I know exactly how this game's going to play out. 19-17 or 17-13. I'll take the Commanders with the points. I'm never going to give the points with the Broncos. Mike, what do you think?
This game doesn't deserve any more time. Take the underdog. Agree.
100%. I'm with Washington as well. I don't like Denver. I'm taking 3.5.
So Jeremy loves the Patriots, and I know a lot of smart people love the Patriots. I love the Dolphins. That's our Sunday night game. No, you like the Patriots? Both of you?
Yeah. Well,
Justin, where are you at, Justin?
I mean, I agree with you, Ryan. I like Miami. I think their offense is one of the best in the league, and I'm not a big fan of the Patriots for this year. I still think they got some things to work out. They're kind of 7-8 win team, and I took Miami to win the division, so I'm sticking with them. I like it. -2.5.
Why you like the Patriots?
I will preface this by saying that I'm very, very big on Miami this year. I love McDaniel. I love everything they're doing. I think they have a couple of holes though. This week specifically, I think Belichick, I know he's an old school mind. I think he can still coach a defense. He held Miami to like 21 points in each game that they played last year. Matchup wise, I could just see New England playing a little bit of keep away. You saw how well the Chargers were able to run the ball against them. I could see Stevenson and Elliott just kind of having like a 38-minute time of possession. Hey, we're going to play keep away 23-20 final. I think it's a very good contrarian play. You're getting prime time. You saw how good Miami looked last week. And if you looked a little bit deeper in the box score last week, New England had over 400 yards or something, 382 yards against Philly's 251. I think New England's they're live. I agree with that pick. I think it's a contrarian one, but a live one for sure.
Well, listen, we're gonna do this again next week. I really appreciate you guys doing this. I want to just take a minute because I know we got to get out of here, but I want to take a minute for people that are listening. Mike and Justin, we were talking about this for a few minutes before we did this. If you guys want to get good information, like if you guys actually want to bet on these games, hopefully we're good background noise, right? Like it's just quick opinions, listening to our quick takes on it. Get your information from people that make their living covering the games, right? Like that actually have access to the coaches, to the players, that write articles. That's how we consume our news. Like we all read the same stuff and then we can decipher our own opinions. We watch the same games, but as soon as you start paying somebody a ton of money to tell you how to bet on the games, you got to be really careful about that. There's a ton of places to go to get information. I appreciate you guys listening. There's obviously 2 Monday Night Football games, but it's late. I already appreciate you guys doing this. Before we go, I do want to say that if you are interested in what our picks are, I'm going to put out my picks just for the hell of it tomorrow. And then if you guys don't mind, we'll have a couple of your best bet picks just so it's on the record so people don't have to go back and listen through. So as long as it's not a conflict to our contest, I think we all have too much pride to take our own picks or to take picks from each other.
Yeah, I don't think we're stealing each other's. We have our own opinions. We like what we like, and we're gonna go with what we have regardless.
Sweet. Mike, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. And Justin, thanks again, man.
Yeah, of course. Good seeing you guys and talking football.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. This was a blast. Love to do it again.
Sweet. We'll see you guys next week. Best of luck if you're betting tomorrow. Definitely rooting for the Ravens. I don't want anybody getting mad at me, by the way. I'm rooting for the Ravens.
Baby.
Yeah, go Ravens, go O's. Doubleheader.
Ravens, I didn't say this in the thing, but give me the under too. I mean, it's going to be a low scoring game. We're getting them. Let's go Ravens.
Sweet. All right. Thanks, guys.
See you, Ryan.